Have you ever wondered how Bitcoin mining works? Imagine a world where money is not printed, but mined digitally. This is not a scene from a sci-fi movie, but the reality of Bitcoin, the world's first decentralized cryptocurrency. Understanding Bitcoin mining is crucial, whether you're an enthusiast, an investor, or merely curious. It's the heartbeat of the Bitcoin network, the process that keeps this revolutionary financial system running. So, tighten your seatbelts and stay tuned as we unravel the mystery behind Bitcoin mining. To understand Bitcoin mining, we first need to understand what Bitcoin is. So Bitcoin is a digital currency, a form of electronic cash that operates independently of a central bank. It's decentralized, which means no single entity or institution controls it. Instead, transactions are made with no middlemen, meaning no banks. Bitcoin transactions aren't just magically secure, though. They are recorded on a public ledger, commonly known as the blockchain. The blockchain is a chronological list of all transactions that ever took place in the Bitcoin network, visible for everyone to see. When you send or receive Bitcoins, that transaction is broadcasted to the entire network. But how do these transactions get confirmed? How does this public ledger stay updated? And more importantly, who keeps it secure from fraudsters? Now, let's dive deeper into how this blockchain is maintained, which is where Bitcoin mining comes into play. Bitcoin miners are like the auditors of the Bitcoin network. You see, these auditors or miners play a crucial role in the Bitcoin universe. They act as gatekeepers, verifying the legitimacy of Bitcoin transactions. But their duties don't stop there. Once a miner successfully verifies a transaction, they add it to a public ledger known as the blockchain. This ledger is a chain of blocks, where each block contains a list of verified transactions. It's a chronicle of all Bitcoin transactions that have ever occurred, and it's accessible to anyone and everyone. Now, the process of adding a block to the blockchain isn't as simple as it sounds. It involves solving complex mathematical problems. The first miner to solve the problem gets the privilege of adding the block to the blockchain, thus ensuring the integrity and security of the Bitcoin network. But how do miners solve these problems? Let's find out. The process of mining involves solving complex mathematical problems. But what does this mean? Well, let's visualize it. Consider Bitcoin mining as a grand competition where participants, known as miners, use powerful computers to compete against each other. But what's the game? They're attempting to solve intricate mathematical puzzles. This is no ordinary Sudoku. These are problems based on a specific cryptographic function called a hash function. Now, let's talk about hash functions. They're the secret sauce in this process. A hash function takes an input or message and returns a fixed-size string of bytes. In simpler terms, it turns data into a jumbled sequence of numbers and letters. The magic here is that the output, known as the hash, changes significantly with even the slightest tweak to the input. Miners are essentially trying to guess the input that will result in a specific hash output. It's a bit like trying to guess the combination to a lock, and the only way to do it is by making guess after guess. The first miner to crack the code, that is, solve the problem, wins the round. And the prize? The opportunity to add a new block of transactions to the Bitcoin blockchain. But that's not all. They're also rewarded with a certain number of Bitcoins. This is what we call the block reward. So that's how Bitcoin mining works. But why is it so important? Bitcoin mining is more than just a way to earn Bitcoin. It is the unsung hero that keeps the Bitcoin network secure and trustworthy. Miners do this by solving complex mathematical puzzles. When they succeed, they add a new block to the blockchain, recording all recent transactions. This process is crucial in preventing double spending, a fraudulent technique of spending the same Bitcoin twice. Miners verify transactions, ensuring that each Bitcoin is spent only once, thereby maintaining the integrity of the entire network. But there's more. Bitcoin mining also upholds Bitcoin's decentralized nature. No single entity controls the network. Instead, thousands of miners worldwide contribute to the network's security and functionality. This decentralization makes Bitcoin resistant to censorship and interference, a feature that sets it apart from traditional currencies. So the next time you use Bitcoin, remember the miners who keep the system running smoothly. Bitcoin mining is not just an activity, but a critical component of the Bitcoin ecosystem.